Actually, my whole career in psychology has kind of been a happenstance of different things that have happened that have kind of drawn me into different ways. I actually started in college being I majored in pre-medicine and biology with the idea that I was going to become a pediatrician. And right when I was in college, there was all the changes that had started to happen kind of with insurance companies and the lessening of time that doctors were able to provide, like spend time with their patients and provide services. And I wasn't sure if that was something that I was really comfortable with. And at the same time, I had just started to take my basic psych classes that you need for the major. And one of my professors had talked to me about neuropsychology. And I ended up taking a few more classes in it and ended up really liking it because it was a very good mixture between biology and then also psychology and the aspects of psychology that I found more interesting. So I ended up adding on psychology as a major with the idea that I would go into neuropsychology. And I did that around like my junior year. So when I graduated from college, I went and ended up getting a master's degree from Benedictine University in clinical psychology. So I was able to work through my doctorate. And then I went to Adler University in downtown Chicago because they had a very good neuropsychology program. And I worked with Dr. Mossieri and kind of grew really into psychology and the idea of the neuropsychology and then pediatric neuropsychology, and just really ended up enjoying it. After I finished the requirements and then graduated, I was doing my postdoc. I just finished taking my licensure exam and kind of was trying to hone my skills as a neuropsychologist and get ready to study for the board exams for neuropsychology. And I was working for a private organization that had a clinic up in Woodstock. And Woodstock up there's a gentleman, his name's Scott Block, and he's really involved in psychology for the court systems and just mental health in general. And he knew Dr. Ron Reimer. And Dr. Ron Reimer, Mr. Block, and Dr. Vermurray, who owned the clinic at that time, must have gotten together and kind of talked about things. And that was right when she was really bringing into the forefront prescribing psychology within Illinois. And they had approached me and asked if I would be willing to consider returning to school to study that and end up like being a prescribing psychologist. And I was a little back and forth about it at first because I was, like I said, studying for my boards for neuropsych. And I was like, well, I don't know if I'd be able to do both of them. And if anybody's ever met Dr. Ron Reimer, she's very persuasive. So she was very kind in spending time with me and talking about how much time it would take and what the commitment would be from like a time standpoint and an intellectual standpoint. And then she really went to bat for me and talked to McHenry County about helping to provide financial support to be able to do the classes. And it just kind of all came together. And so I ended up doing the program at Fairleigh Dickinson. And upon finishing, I did the bulk of my rotations through Amita Hospital Systems. Some of them were through a lot of them were through St. Joseph in Elgin. My colleague of mine, one of my bosses in my Elgin job, he was very kind in working with the hospital to help set up a lot of my rotations. And then another colleague, Dr. Gretchen Bowles, she helped get some of the rotations through the Amita system in the Hinsdale area. And then I ended up finishing and was lucky enough to become the second licensed psychologist. The third applicant, though, Dr. Neal was before me in terms of psychologist. And then it kind of grew from there. So I've been very fortunate that my career in psychology really has been a series of almost trips that have just kind of fallen together and ended up growing into what I hope to be a very successful career.